Last week was all about consoles. This week, let's talk about games. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Today is Friday the 13th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Like I said, not a lot of conversation about the consoles this week. I know that they launched. Still haven't gotten my hands on either of them yet, but I will continue to work on that. But we can talk about all the video games because I kind of talked about the reviews for the console last week. So this week we get to talk about all the games that came out. So jumping right in, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the latest Assassin's Creed game, which takes place as the Vikings or Saxons are invading England. And the mechanics are very, very new and unique. I've been watching my wife play it, and I haven't gotten my hands on it yet, but the whole stamina system, there's a lot of new systems, and I think she's kind of picking at it because it's a lot different than Odyssey, but it sounds like they're really bringing up the fidelity, making it a little bit more realistic, adding in a lot more context and flavor, but they're also kind of starting to trim down on the story. This one's only supposed to take you about 60 hours rather than the 100 or so hours that the last one took, so all around, Assassin's Creed is looking like it's going to be a pretty good addition to the kind of latest saga. I think that prior to Origins, Assassin's Creed kind of had its it was more of a stealth action game, and now these ones are kind of more open world RPG, and I think that's working for them. So I didn't play too much of Odyssey. I played all of Origins, and so I'm kind of really looking forward to picking up Valhalla, playing every other Assassin's Creed game. That's kind of how I've engaged with them so far. Assassin's Creed currently has an 85 Metacritic. I think the last couple, I think Odyssey also had somewhere in the mid 80s, so expect the same kind of standard, and yeah, I think you will enjoy Assassin's Creed. So let me know what you think of it down below. If you like any of the new mechanics or you kind of got used to Odyssey, let me know about it. Also dropping this week is Destiny 2 Beyond Light, the latest expansion for Destiny coming out of Bungie. This one's really the starter blocks for kind of Bungie working on it on their own as of early last year. Activision and Bungie had split up, so this one seems like most of the content coming out of Beyond Light is probably all on their own. Also, I feel like, even though they didn't want to iterate into Destiny 3, this one definitely feels like a reset. The maps are now smaller, or at least the locations you can go are now smaller. The kind of lead into it has been pretty cool. I like hearing about the live events that have been going on in Destiny with the whole traveler kind of healing itself. So yeah, but the fact that they didn't want to reset by like iterating to Destiny 3, but really bringing everything down and making the world smaller, making the locations smaller. But they're really focused on story now, and I think that's something that's kind of been lacking in Destiny so far. I think I need a 1 hour explanation on what's happened in Destiny to try and catch up, which again is another reason why you might want to iterate as opposed to continue on with the same game, same story, as people get intimidated about trying to jump back in and not knowing what's going on. But I am really excited to see the kind of the main focus for Beyond Light is the story. Also really excited to see the new classes. I think people have been wanting new classes for new subtypes, new elements added to the game since early Destiny 2, so the fact that we're getting more in this is just going to add more gameplay, so I'm looking forward to diving into that sometime soon. Also this week, launching today, both of those launched earlier this week, but launching today was Call of Duty Cold War. You can get your mission briefings from Ronald Reagan himself. So Call of Duty is currently sitting at an 86 Metacritic. I think that's higher than the last couple. I looked at both. I looked up the Metacritics for both Black Ops 4 and Modern Warfare. Both of those were in the low 80s. So the fact that this is kind of the mid upper 80s is looking pretty good. I think people have kind of dug what's going on with Call of Duty for the last couple of years. I still think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how Warzone kind of integrates. The addition of bringing Prestiges back, I think, is really going to add more perpetual gameplay. I was surprised that kind of dropped off a couple years ago. Prestiging was definitely something that got a lot of my friends and I invested in Call of Duty, half a decade ago. So glad to see that back. It seems like the quality is there. I feel like the rig, I picked on the rig and stuff, but I feel like the uncanny valley-ness is kind of in there. So it just kind of looks and feels a little bit weird. But yeah, Call of Duty's out. And look like it's gotten a pretty good review so far. So let me know what you think of Call of Duty down below. I said I wasn't going to talk about next gen too much, but Sony did have a state of play earlier this week, all completely focused on the Demon's Souls remasters, which launched with the PlayStation 5 this week. That's currently sitting at a 92 meta. So I think I looked up a couple of the metas for the last couple of Dark Souls games. And those have been in like the high 80s, but the fact that this is somewhere in the 92 kind of really piqued my interest. I've been slowly getting into Dark Souls likes, but you'd laugh at me if I said Jedi Fallen Order. But this could be one of the ones that I want to pick up. Definitely one of the selling points for the PlayStation 5 is this kind of exclusive Dark Souls. Also, it's interesting. One thing that I kind of thought was interesting was the fact that this wasn't done by From Software. This was done by kind of Sony's in-house publisher, or developer. So I think that's kind of interesting that they kind of brought it in. They brought some of the kind of quality of life up on the game, because obviously this is like a 20-year-old or somewhere couple decades old game now. So yeah, I definitely think that adding in a bunch of quality of life, the game definitely looks and runs beautifully. So it's really interesting to see that kind of that From Software quality, but from a studio other than them. So good on them. Game looks fun and amazing, and I really think it's going to be a console seller for all those Dark Souls fans out there. Looking forward to seeing more about that, especially again at that 92 Metacritic, which means you should probably play the game, even if you're really not into those kind of games. That's kind of for those who haven't heard the spiel before. I definitely think something like 90 plus is typically the area in which you'd probably enjoy this game, even if you don't enjoy this type of game. And that's kind of how I think of it a lot of the time. So definitely worth picking up. Definitely a console sell. Not going to spend too much time on the news from last Saturday, but Mass Effect Legendary Edition was confirmed. I remember talking about it last week, that we were going to get some news over the weekend. So the Mass Effect Legendary Edition is going to happen. It's the trilogy, the remastered trilogy that everyone's kind of been talking about. The games industry is nothing but a ball of rumor. It's good to see the remaster of those Bungie titles. So I've never actually played any of the or at least I haven't played the trilogy. I played Andromeda, which definitely wasn't a representation for the trilogy. So I'm looking forward to getting a next gen console and playing this on that, and kind of going through fresh. So if you're interested, check out my stream sometime in the next few months. I think they confirmed kind of a launch window of spring 21, which could be anything from February to June. So yeah, looking forward to seeing more about that. Epic's eternal pursuit of trying to separate consumers from their money continues. I'm mostly kidding, but I definitely think that they're not the best sometimes, especially with the whole Apple lawsuit. But anyway, Fortnite is looking into doing a monthly subscription. This would give people who subscribe to Fortnite early access to cosmetics, as well as in-game currency. Would give you V-Bucks. Definitely what I would think of if I thought of like what would Fortnite sell in a monthly bundle. I definitely hope that this isn't more than $5, because I think just giving people access to cosmetics a little bit early and giving them some V-Bucks doesn't really lend itself to a lot of money. But I could definitely see them kind of adding in the battle passes, saying that you get all the battle pass content as well. If they have constant drops, I can see that going above maybe that $5 to that $10 price point. But $10 a month, Fortnite definitely seems, yeah, that seems high to me. But yeah, but they make all the money, so what do I know? Moving right along, EA has found themselves in hot water right now, and I think this one is definitely interesting. When I was reading the headlines for this, so EA is currently allegedly, well, no, EA does have a class action lawsuit against it, and the allege of the class action lawsuit is that they are upping dynamic difficulty, that they're cranking up the dynamic difficulty to promote you to buy loot boxes, like making the game harder and then incentivizing loot boxes at right as they're making the game harder. That just seems really shady. I definitely don't think that EA is above board on this, but that it's just like, I don't know. I would just like really flabbergasted at the idea of cranking up the difficulty and then being like, hey, it's getting pretty hard. You're dying a lot. Do you want to buy a loot box? Like, oh, that makes my skin crawl. Uh, again, this is still in the preliminary phases. We don't have any confirmation one way or the other. But that definitely just seems like, seems like a gross thing, and it could be true. So I'm definitely gonna keep this one on my radar because that is very interesting. So yeah, moving right along. Also in the Call of Duty news, Call of Duty is selling a toothbrush, which is, not a lot to begin with, but yeah, but 20% of the proceeds goes to their military veterans charity. So you can buy, I think the main toothbrush is like $100, and there's the whole bundle that comes with like other dental stuff. And that's like $130. But yeah, some of the proceeds are going to vets, which is awesome. So right in time promoting all the Cold War stuff and the Cold War activity that's going on with Call of Duty right now. But they're also selling a toothbrush, and some of the proceeds are going to their military charity. So that's really cool. I'll have a link down in the description below. I might have a camouflage toothbrush sometime soon. So looking forward to potentially picking that up. Speaking of other merch that's kind of worth picking up, Blizzard has put out their own series of face masks, which means I'm definitely going to be there. I've already got my Halo mask sitting in my car, and I just like buying these kind of gamer masks out there. The masks are being sold on the Blizzard website. They come in sets of 3 for $25, and they have them for all of their IPs of StarCraft. They have Hearthstone. They have World of Warcraft, both Horde and Alliance, and they have a bunch of Overwatch characters. I think there's like a Diva pack. I think there's a couple other characters represented in their Overwatch, and they have the general Overwatch arch as well. So grab your sword, fight the Horde. I'm gonna probably get the Alliance set. They look really cool. The material also looked like a weird leather. Maybe I'm just kind of picturing it wrong in my mind, but yeah, definitely looks like something I might be worth buying. So check it out in the link down below in the description. Moving right along, we got a confirmed launch date for a game that I'm very excited about, Deathloop. Bethesda's PlayStation 5 exclusive title, is coming May 21st, 2021. So looking forward to that. I've been loving all the art styles. Earlier this year, Deathloop had been pushed. I think in October we got news that it got pushed out of this year. I think the intention was that it was supposed to come out at the end of 2020, but we heard that it got pushed to 21. Arcane came out and said it got pushed, and now we know that it's coming out in May. So I hope that date sticks. I'm really looking forward to playing Deathloop. The whole kind of the multiplayer aspect of it, like once you get through the main story, then you can play as the person trying to prevent someone to getting through the main story. I feel like there's a chicken and egg problem with that concept though, of like who's preventing the first person from playing through. But I like the art style of it. I really like the kind of themes and feeling and the kind of death loop. That's the name of the game, but the death loop of it. So I'm really looking forward to getting more information on that and potentially playing it next May. Last but certainly not least, Fall Guys. Oh, Fall Guys. You remember Fall Guys. I remember. Mediatonic, the company behind Fall Guys, has started to talk about Fall Guys Season 3. They said they're going to go bigger and badder than they did in Season 2, and I already thought Season 2 was it was a good upgrade, but I definitely bounced off of it. I liked a couple of the concepts introduced in Season 2, but definitely wasn't enough to keep me around. I know that they just had their 2.5 update, and they're adding a couple more maps. I also heard that it gets 2 honks of approval this week, as I believe the Goose is available to buy right now. Untitled Goose Game and Mediatonic or Fall Guys have done a partnership, and they're selling the Goose costume in the store right now. So I'm actually probably going to log off this and log into that pretty soon to pick that up. But yeah, Mediatonic's looking to go bigger and badder with Season 3. So I'm really interested to see what that's all about. I really like the theme of this. And I thought it was a really strong theme, so I'm kind of curious of what kind of stronger theming I think definitely is going to help shape the season of it. So looking forward to seeing more of what's coming out for Fall Guys Season 3. That's it for the week. Thanks for watching. I didn't curse at any retailers this week because I still haven't gotten my hands on any of those next-gen consoles, but looking forward to continuing the hunt. So wish me luck. If you like this, if you like this content, feel free to follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch so you can see more great content like this. Links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend, and I hope you have a super day. Bye.